What's up, perps? We are going through another one. Let's see. So, this bill is much like many other bills Democrats put out. It's complete horseshit. But we're going to look at it. Because if we have learned nothing from this last omnibus bill, they might not pass some of these gun control bills straight out, but they will add them into big giant piles of steaming horse crap worth of spending, and we'll pass these gun control bills in those other bills. So let's get on with this one. Let's see. Let's do the screen share. Make sure we got the music. That way we can jam. All right. So getting into this guy right here. So this is House Bill 3159. This is a gun buyback bill. Let's go up here at the top. So this was introduced on 5/12 of 2021, the 117th Congress, to authorize the director of the Bureau of Justice Assistance to make grants to states, units of local government, and gun dealers to conduct gun buyback programs and for other purposes. They always throw that little caveat in there. So we'll breeze through the jackasses that actually introduced this. Payne Quigley, of course, Eleanor Holmes Norton is on here. That absolute genius that can't even park her own damn car. McCullum, Higgins, I recognize that jackass's name. Who else? There's Sislene's on here. Yeah, he's an absolute moron. Watson Coleman, yeah, she can get bent. Let's see, who else we got? Kelly of Illinois, freaking moron. Hayes, Wilson of Florida, Moore of Wisconsin. Well, they introduced this bill. So let's get into this before I lose my not so stellar mind. And I don't have a bunch of other documents with this one because they did a couple little amendments here or there, some other stuff. Nothing that's actual like legal ease going on. This is all about just grants for buying back guns. So get this straight. You work. You take the product of your labor, which is your money, and you go buy a blaster. Could look like this, could be a long gun, you name it, but you go buy one. Show off the one. I got to get a barrel and spring for this one, but yeah, you go buy one. And then the government says, we are going to offer you less than pennies on the dollar to buy that firearm from you. They call it a buyback. So they're using your tax dollars to buy something back from you that they never owned in the first place. So hopefully what happens with anything like this is like what I've seen with some other gun buybacks is people go out there and basically stand around by themselves and let people know, I will purchase said firearm from you for a lot more than what they are going to pay you in there. Because oftentimes it's like a $50 gift certificate. The other thing that I love to see are people going to Home Depot, picking up a bunch of stuff, manufacturing like a slam fire shotgun, then going in there and selling it and making a profit on their labor. That, my friends, the only one that beats that are people who have made things that look like guns and then sell them back to these idiots. Those are the ones that I absolutely love. Alright, let's get into this. So, table of contents, short title. This is the Safer Neighborhoods Gun Buyback Act of 2021. And I know some people say, well, this was introduced in 2021, Coop. Yes, but this is still part of the 117th Congress. Um, so this is still working its way through this with these um, people that we have in power right now ruling us. Don't think for a second that they won't push this through. Um, if you do think for a second that they won't, wake up, get you a nice cup of coffee, sit down and chill out, and get your head out of your ass. So let's see. So Section 101 program. Crap. Okay. In general, the director of the Bureau of Justice Assistance Program, referred to in the title as director, may make grants to eligible entities to conduct gun buyback programs. Eligible entity is defined in the title of this term. Eligible entity means a state, a unit of local government, or a gun dealer if neither a local unit of government nor state where the dealer is located receives a grant under this title. So, excuse me. So here's my question with this. The state is going to give a grant to a gun dealer to in turn buy back guns from people that the government never owned in the first place. And that gun dealer is paying the same thing that the state would be paying, which is like gift cards, $50, $75 if you're lucky. I haven't read through the rest of this, but does the gun dealer get to keep any of these firearms? If they do, that is a hell of a deal, and if I had my FFL, I would be on board for that shit. Why? Because I will spend the government's money, which is my money, to buy extremely cheap firearms. And then I can probably up my profit off of them and put them right out into the market. But I honestly doubt whether gun dealers would get to keep the firearms that they're purchasing through these grants. If they do, that's a hell of a damn deal. You get to spend someone else's money, some jackass gets to sell you a firearm that they know nothing about. It's a win-win. If you get to resell the firearm. Okay. So let's see. This is applications, grants. The chief executive of an eligible entity seeking a grant under title yada yada shall submit an application to the director at such time and containing such information as the director may reasonably require. Sub grants. Boy, this fucking government, I swear they can't do anything. Yeah. A gun dealer located in a unit of local government or state that does receive a grant under this title seeking a sub-grant shall submit an application to the chief executive of such unit of local government or state at such time and containing such information as the chief executive may reasonably require, including proof of such dealer's license under 923, that's their FFL, United States Code 18, yada yada. Okay. Term of grant. The term of the grant awarded under this title shall be 2 years. So yeah, they get a while. Government money, get to buy firearms, 2 years worth. Availability of grant funds. States or local unit or states or units of local government, a state or unit of local government that receives a grant under this title shall return to the director any remaining smart prepaid cards and any unused portion of such grant at the end of the 2-year and 270-day period beginning on the date that the grant was awarded. So 2 year and 270 days. So they almost get 3 years. And then any of the gift cards they don't use, any other funds that they had before the gift cards, all that shit gets sent back to the government. Alright, let's see. Hold on, what the did I just miss? I don't know why terrorists is just hanging out there in the middle of nowhere for nothing. Maybe I had a thought and didn't finish it. You know those thoughts. All right, gun dealers. A gun dealer that receives a grant or sub grant under this title shall return to the director any remaining prepaid cards, unused portion of such grant, sub grant that was allocated to be used for the gun buyback. In the case of a gun dealer receiving a grant at the end of the 2 year period beginning on the date of grant was awarded, or in the case of a gun dealer receiving a sub grant at the end of the 2 year period beginning on the date awarded, gun dealer receives a sub grant, amounts returned, the director shall return to the general fund of the treasury any amounts returned under subsection. So they are going to basically print money, earmark it, and whatever they don't spend is going to go back into the treasury. And if you understand how much printing of money they're doing now and the inflation of a currency, stuff going back into our so-called treasury is a absolute laugh fest, or cry fest if you really understand it. I just smoke cigarettes. Okay, let's see. Amounts returned. Okay, smart prepaid cards. In general, in conducting the grant program authorized under Section 101, the director may reserve such funds as may be necessary to acquire and distribute smart prepaid cards to eligible entities that receive grants under this title. The director shall distribute the smart prepaid cards without any funds loaded onto the cards. So what they are going to do here is distribute the cards themselves, what cards that they want. The entity, state, local government will get the funds into an account, and then they will basically charge those cards as they go. Prohibition on use of cards to buy guns. Oh, I missed it. I skipped one. Okay. Market value of guns. The director shall determine the market value of each gun that the director determines should be included in the buyback program and make such information available to the public. Okay, so again, the director sets the value of these firearms and what types of firearms that they will buy back on this one. So they change stuff up in this one. Maybe they're getting a little smarter these days. And maybe they won't buy the high point that nobody wants. So we'll see. So prohibition on use of cards to buy guns. In general, a person may not use a smart prepaid card in the acquisition of a gun or ammunition, and a person may not accept a smart prepaid card in the transfer, including a loan of a gun or ammunition. So let me tell you how this works out, kids. You take their card and you transfer that money to another card. You buy another card with their card, and then you can do whatever the hell you want. And again, they can get fucked. God knows how many blasters got bought with some stimulus money. That was the meme going around at the time. What caliber would you like your stimulus money in? And that is extremely hysterical. Thank you for giving me my own money back so that then I have a little extra money so that I can go maybe buy something that I've been looking at for a little while. God knows how much ammo the government actually gave us the extra cash to buy. That's what Kyle Rittenhouse, that's what he bought his rifle with, was a stimulus check. That's hysterical. All right, let's see. Prohibition, yada yada in general. Okay, penalty. A person that violates paragraph 1 shall pay to the director an amount that is equal to the value of the prohibited sale. Yeah, right. Get bent, dude. Use of funds. States and local units of government, state or local unit of government receiving a grant under this title shall use such funds to do the following: gun buyback program. Use of such funds, conduct a gun buyback program, or make sub grants to gun dealers in such states, units of local government to conduct gun buyback programs and distribute the smart prepaid cards. Such state, local unit of government receives to the gun dealer receiving the sub grants. Gun and ammunition recycling program. Use not more than 10% of such funds to recycle guns and ammunition that such state or local unit of government collects or receives from gun dealers. Administrative cost, not more than 15% of the funds, so they'll create some fake ass position, and some gender studies hire will get paid money to institute programs like this. 15% of the funds, administrative costs, carrying out grant program under this title, including the criminal database checks under subsection F. So we got to get down to subsection F in just a second. C. I mean, are they running background checks on people who are actually selling them the firearms? It's a little backwards than the way this shit normally works, but who am I? Gun dealers in general, a gun dealer receiving a grant or sub-grant under this title shall use such funds to conduct a gun buyback program. Smart prepaid card amounts in order to purchase a gun through a gun buyback program. A dealer shall load onto the smart card 125% of the market value of the gun that the individual wishes to dispose of. Now remember, the director is the one who is actually establishing what these things are going to cost. So go with that. But apparently they actually might be paying more than most gun programs that I've seen. So, guns received. In the case of a gun dealer receiving a grant under this title, the gun dealer shall deliver a gun or ammunition to the ammunition the dealer receives under the grant buyback program to the closest office of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives not later than 60 days after receiving such gun. So, yeah, apparently the gun dealers do have to turn the guns over to the government. Ah, those suck asses. In the case of a gun dealer receiving a sub-grant under this title, shall deliver gun or ammunition the dealer receives under the buyback program. Same thing. Local government, not less than 60 days. Ammunition collection, state, local government, or gun dealer conducting a gun buyback program under this title may accept ammunition from individuals wishing to dispose of it, which shall be recycled in accordance with paragraph 3, but may not use smart cards to purchase ammunition under the buyback program. So people can turn ammunition in, they're not going to buy ammunition from them. Alright. Incentives for gun dealer participation. Right now it looks like there are none, and any gun dealer that participates in one of these programs, well, I would not do business with them. Now, that's the caveat. Okay, if they were taking the government's money and they were buying blasters and then they were able to keep said blasters and then turn around and sell said blasters, I almost wouldn't have any issues with that. Because it's our money, not the government's money. However, if you are a gun dealer and you participate in something like this where you use government funds, you buy guns back, or you buy guns from people, you're not buying them back, and then you turn around and give these to the AFT to be destroyed, well, no, I wouldn't do business with you. No, I no longer have any real respect for you at all, period. Sorry, not sorry, really not sorry. You're a douchebag. Incentives for gun dealer participation. Okay, to the extent that the director determines necessary to facilitate participation of gun dealers in the gun buyback program, grant funds may be used to provide monetary or other incentives to gun dealers to participate in such program. For purposes of subsection A, any incentives shall be treated as part of the subgrant to the gun dealer described in paragraph 1B thereof. So they want to buy these gun dealers off to get these gun dealers to participate in their little buyback schemes. And again, if you are a gun dealer and you participate in their little buyback schemes, well, guess what? There's no way in hell I would do business with you. And I hope all your customers find out that you did it, and I hope none of them do business with you. Matter of fact, I hope it pretty much crashes your entire business. But that's just me. All right, resale of guns prohibited. A state, local unit of government, gun dealer conducting gun buyback program under this title may not sell a gun or ammunition received under such program. So all of them will be destroyed. Again, all these people can get bent. Criminal database check. This is where they talked about it there a second ago. A state, unit of local government, or office of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives that receives a gun under a buyback program under this title shall not later than 21 days after receiving the gun use any database accessible to the state, unit of the local government, or office of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives as applicable in order to determine whether the gun was used in commission of a crime. If such a gun was used in the commission of a crime, the gun shall be delivered to the appropriate prosecuting authority. Now, if this gun is being sold in a buyback, so-called buyback, and they just see the gun, they have the numbers on the gun, they trace numbers on that gun. About the best thing they can really look at in that situation is figuring out who the original owner was. Now, if they did ballistic tests on the firearm, testing the slugs, and put those into a database to search against other slugs recovered from crimes, that might make a little bit of sense, but merely running the numbers on the gun is moronic because you're only, again, going to come back to that original owner. Well, if I'm the original owner, who knows? Maybe I get my gun back. I highly doubt it. Oh, God. It keeps going. Definitions, Title 1, okay, ammunition, term ammunition, meaning given such section, yada, yada, yada. It's already defined in U.S. Code. Gun, already defined in U.S. Code. Buyback program means a program under which state, unit of local government, or a gun dealer using smart prepaid cards, as described in Section 105B2, purchases back from individuals wishing to dispose of them a gun identified by the director, yada yada. You're not buying anything back. Okay, unless the government sold you the gun, they're not buying anything back. And I wonder in states where it's required to go through an FFL to do transfers, if the state is just going to do the transfer. More proof that they live outside of that rule they made for us, because they will. They'll just give people money for the cards and they're going to bounce. Rules for thee and not for me, kids. That 'tis the world we live in. All right, smart prepaid card. That's pretty damn self-explanatory. Redeemable at multiple unaffiliated merchants or service providers, unless it's a gun dealer. Contains a mechanism for the purpose of preventing the cardholder from using it to purchase gun or ammunition that recognizes the merchant category code of the merchant and prohibits use of such card at a place. Because yes, that's something a lot of people don't realize, that different businesses have different codes for the type of business they're in. And if you are a business that sells piles, you have a certain business code, and that can be read by credit cards, smart cards like this. That's why Democrats have fought in the past trying to get credit card companies to not let their cards be used at any businesses that sell firearms. They've tried it with banks and debit cards, trying to say, hey, you bank, Wells Fargo, whoever the hell, don't let your people buy guns. Guns are evil, guns are bad. If you just put this in your system, you put this little code in your system. If someone goes to a business that has that code, it's going to reject it, and they can't buy guns there with your card. Never mind the fact it's my money. Sorry. Okay, let's see. Honored upon presentation by merchants solely for goods or services, except for merchants described in subparagraph B, is loaded on a prepaid basis by the state, unit of local government, gun dealer for the purposes of buyback. Clearly and conspicuously bears the words, my card may not be used to purchase a gun or ammunition, in capital and raised letters on the card, so that Ray Charles, I guess, could feel it. Just buy another card with it. You're good. Alright, let's see. May not be redeemed for coins or currency. Nope, but you can buy another card with it. Excuse me, unless they stop that. And then you're there with I don't know, go buy flowers or something. I don't know. It's up to you. Alright, state. Term state means each of the individual 50 states, District of Columbia, Commonwealth, territory, possession of the United States, authorized appropriations. This is where we get to how much they are actually going to spend on this. Whoa! Me running, man. 360 mil they want to put into this for years 20 through 22. Now, we're already through 22, but all they'll do is change the dates from 23 to whatever, or 24 to whatever. So those dates really don't mean anything. It's just a 2-year window. Use of smart prepaid cards and acquisition or transfer of a firearm in general. Chapter 44, United States Code is amended by adding at the end the following. That's one of the reasons I didn't bring this up in another bill. This is just an addition at the end of the law itself. So this would be section 932. Use of smart prepaid card in the acquisition or transfer of a firearm. Whoever in or affecting interstate or foreign... You guys know I hate that. I hate it. Oh, do I hate it. But here it is again. Like I said, in any gun law, guess what they rely on? The Interstate Commerce Clause. If you haven't seen me talk about the Interstate Commerce Clause, I talk about it in almost every single one of my videos that has to do with the law, gun laws themselves. Yeah, the Interstate Commerce Clause. I will say it again real quick for those of you in the cheap seats or you just got to my channel. The federal government has no authority whatsoever to regulate firearms inside of the states. None. There's nothing in the Constitution that gives them that power. However, the Interstate Commerce Clause, which is only supposed to regulate commerce in between states, that is the Interstate Commerce Clause. They basically say that firearms in a state affect interstate commerce, so they can regulate firearms. If you can fit that into your head, you may need mental help, and very much badly. So, They want to add this in. This section 932, use of smart pay cards. Okay, whoever affecting interstate or foreign commerce uses a smart prepaid card, such as term yada yada, in connection with the acquisition of or accepts a smart prepaid card in connection with the transfer, including a loan, of a firearm or ammunition shall be fined under this title, imprisoned for not more than 2 years, or both. So what they are saying is any money that you get from this so-called buyback program, if you use that for firearms or ammunition, they want to put your ass in jail for 2 years. That's our government. Yeah, knock my mic off, knock my hat off. This is insane. All right, clerical amendments, conforming amendment, section 924, 1A, United States Code is amended by inserting the following section, which is 929, the following section 932, table of sections at the beginning, chapter 44, 18. And they add this in: use of smart prepaid cards in the acquisition or transfer of firearms. So that's where it's basically defining the crime. So buy ammunition, buy another gun, 2 years. That means you're a felon. That means you lose all of your gun rights, because you spent money that you had, no matter where that money came from. You spent that money on a firearm or just ammunition. Seriously, again, I said it before, I'll say it again. I wish whoever voted for people like this got to live under these people, and the rest of us could be left the hell alone. It's just insane. So, anyway, kids, I am out. You perps be cool. And I'm probably just going to chill. Got my homework done. Got a couple videos done. Kind of back on track. Yeah, I might just chill for a while. You perps be cool. We'll see you on the next one.